Oh, hi.
There you are. Hey, Sasha.
Hey, how are
Yeah.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Cool.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. Friday. Well, thank you for taking some time here to join us in Vancouver, Canada, Hollywood North, of course.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for having me.
Of course, yeah. Have you done shooting here? Have you filmed in Vancouver? Have you been to our fair city?
I haven't. I visited Canada in general. I have a lot of family living close to the border, so
Oh, do you?
uh, just vocationally, I've
Yeah.
been.
I think just because it's like the cheap dollar, I think is what it is here, right?
It's clean. Like it's beautiful. It's I just really my whole family loves going there. So
Yeah. Not many bad
also,
things. Not many bad things to
yeah,
say about Canada. You know,
there's really not.
I just had a film crew film next door to where I live, and they use a little bit of my place as well. But they flooded the neighbor's basement suite because it was like fake fire, and they're like blasting water all over the house for like hours at a time.
Wow,
And
okay.
I know, right? Like crazy shit on set. And of course, you've probably seen a bunch of that stuff.
I have. But I think when it comes to your own home, there's a bigger
Yeah,
degree of.
they were going pretty fucking crazy. Yeah, they were pretty
Yeah.
pissed off.
What was it for? Do you know?
It was called it was a series called In Den Wolken,
Oh, okay.
and I'm not sure what it's about, but a ton of fire trucks and ambulances and stuff overnight. It took like 3 or 4 days for them to do, and they had to come into my house and put lights and shit in, and but yeah, they
It's kind
completely
of
flooded the basement of the next door neighbor. It was crazy.
well, now you both have a story to tell.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
there's that.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye out
Well,
for sure.
congrats on your new movie.
Oh
Like
God.
your world must be slammed right now. Knox goes away. This
It
sort of stuff, like press and interviews and promoting and all that, that's your world right now, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I
Yeah.
was really not expecting it. I'm very low key. I kind of keep to myself, and then it just everything just went from, 0 to 60 in within a day. So it's been interesting.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the period where I get to sleep a little bit more, but yeah, it's exactly as you said, just full throttle.
Yeah. Yeah. And so tell us about playing Al Pacino's wife. Like, what?
I mean, that's
That's
a
got a
dream.
pretty good ring to it.
I mean, and everybody's like, what are you going to do next? And I'm like, I don't know how you can follow that. I mean, I can
It's
take
huge.
that to the grave. I feel accomplished. I feel good.
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
yeah. I mean, it's iconic. It feels surreal to, be included and be around him. And
Yeah.
my entire family is just in awe. So it was a huge honor. Yeah, and he's lovely. He's
Oh,
lovely.
I mean, yeah. How could you get to that point and not like if you were an asshole, you'd never get as big as he is. Like just it would never happen, right?
That's also been a really great discovery. I feel like the higher up you go, the more successful people are, at least in the creative space that I've come across,
Of
they're just the most grounded, humble people. Michael Keaton also,
course,
you
yeah. He
know,
directed the film as well, right?
he did, and it was really amazing to watch. I mean, on set you have, maybe 100 crew and cast, and he's just, you can tell he's juggling everything, but he's so just grounded and has so much integrity and makes every single person feel seen. He really holds space for everybody. So,
Mhm.
um, and such a gentleman, just to always make sure you feel good. So yeah, just I have nothing but good things to say. It feels like a dream still, honestly.
Yeah, sure, right? Like
Yeah.
Pacino, Keaton, like just two freaking juggernauts.
Also, Joanna Kulig, who I remember
Of course, yeah.
I remember seeing Cold War in theaters when it came out, so I had no idea she was attached to the project until I ran into her on set, and then I realized, okay, she plays across Michael Keaton. But
Okay.
that just also incredible. She flew in from Poland,
Hmm.
you know, um, and also just the loveliest human being, the loveliest.
Yeah, yeah. That's so
Yeah.
cool. And so you're mentioning like, your buddies and your family and stuff. They're like, what are you doing next? So what are you doing next? Like, do you have that stuff planned out, or is it kind of just fly by the seat, or how does that work?
It's really been an interesting period because, one, you have the pandemic, like, all production basically halts, or, I did Chicago Fire during the pandemic, and we had to pause production for, I think, like 2 to 3 weeks. It was very just start and stop.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then coming out of that, for me, the war in Ukraine started, and I am born in Ukraine. I still have half my family out there, so
Right.
um,
Wow.
that happened in February, and I couldn't rationalize being in a creative space while my country
That's
kind
going
of,
on. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
faced their mortality. So I just decided to step away completely, and my manager at the time, she knew, she kind of gave me the space, and she came across this script for Knox Goes Away, kind of slid it tentatively towards me and said, if you're interested,
Yeah.
let me
My
know.
consideration.
Yeah, and I saw Michael Keaton was attached to the project. I read the script, and I thought the characters were just incredibly developed, and I said, you know what? uh, let me just try. This is the first project I was really excited about, you know, that entire year, and it worked out. And yeah, and then the strikes happened. So
Nice.
everything
Oh,
everything right now is just, I think, again, picking up. I think there's a lot of great projects coming out, but yeah, in all reality, like, I'm back to auditioning, just nonstop. So we'll see. I'm excited to see how it goes, but I also do photography, so I've had the opportunity to shoot Elijah Woods recently,
hmm,
Sophia Boutella. So that's kind of my own little passion project there.
that's
Yeah,
good.
so fly by the seat of my pants is, I think, fairly accurate.
Pretty accurate, yeah. And
Yeah.
so is Michael Keaton the best Batman?
I mean, I have to say yes. I have to.
Yeah.
I have to. Also, though, I mean, Christian
Christian
Bale.
Bale is so good. Like so good.
I all love and respect to Michael Keaton, but
But you know what? Even Ben Affleck, like, remember when Ben Affleck was announced that he was going to be the Batman, and people were like, "What the really,
yeah,
Ben
yeah.
Affleck?" Like, and I thought he nailed it.
He did a good job, but honestly, I think I'm Christian Bale all the way.
Yeah.
Christian Bale all the way. I think, yeah, it's just I mean, you're just so caught up watching him, and it's so authentic, and I feel like a lot of humanity.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like older Batmans, they're a little more, I
Like
don't know what the word.
cartoony, kiddish, or whatever, right?
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking like more
Zap
comic.
powers and all that.
Yeah, exactly, which is great for what it is,
Yeah.
but, my personal preference is, definitely Christian Bale.
Yeah. I mean, remember what's the movie where he got to like 85 pounds or some shit? It was the Machinist.
Yes,
He is
yes,
such a, his acting chops are insane. He's so
he's
good,
he's incredible. I just like that is a true devotion to craft,
right?
you know?
And
Like,
then of
that is
course, then he goes the
like
other side. And what's the one where he gets all chubby and
he's
stuff? It's the politician,
a
Cheney.
politician.
Cheney.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So he does like one side, then he goes to completely the other side. Like, it's
Yeah,
insane how good he is.
he's incredible. I
Yeah.
mean, I I've personally never met him, would love, but,
Yeah.
just watching him perform and how seriously he takes it, I think is, a great example of, how to be.
I know, right? And how
Yeah,
cool would it be in a superhero movie too, though? Like, is that something like
I love
growing up? Did you follow it, or is it more just in the last, like
best.
they've been overkill, of course, in the last 2 decades, right? But like, is it something that you,
No, it's kind of my comfort food, quote unquote,
yeah,
like, if I'm ever having a bad day, I put on a superhero movie.
nice.
Uh, yeah, no, I love them, and I think my biggest note to Hollywood is I really had a problem with, just Black Widow,
Like the
but
choice of casting, or just the story, or what?
I mean, it's an Eastern European character, you're getting a lot of these American actresses, and, this might cause a greater discussion, for anyone watching this show, but I would love I think growing up as an immigrant, I didn't really see, my culture portrayed in the best light, you know?
Mm,
It's you're a victim, you're a villain. Um, and, especially in such a big platform like a superhero movie, I think that's such a great opportunity for someone who's authentically Eastern European. I think Mila Jovovich would be great actually. But well, her daughter's
mhm,
acting now.
mhm,
Daughter's acting now.
mm,
But yeah, I would just like to see kind of like, more of myself in that.
yeah, not fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, which superpower would you want to have? Do you think?
You're putting me on the spot. That's
I
a
know, right?
great question. That's a great question. I want to say okay, it's between three.
Oh, okay.
It's got it depends on the situation, and I'll have to do my own thinking beyond this. But
Mm,
one being invisible.
yes,
Um, uh, the other is definitely, I think, teleportation.
that's the
And
one.
then oh yeah, is that
That's mine.
yours?
That's my pick. Like,
That's
how freaking
yours?
rad would that be able to teleport anywhere? It'd be insane. It'd
Exactly.
be so cool.
Yeah, yeah, you get it. You get
Yeah,
it. And the other, I think, the ability to heal.
mhm,
I think that's a powerful one, you
it is.
know? Yeah.
Three good choices.
Thank you. Thank you. Thought
Uh,
of them on the
and of course, you're known for modeling as well.
Oh god, it feels like a different life, but yeah, I did that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and if they're like big brands too, right? Like, let's
I
get real here. Gucci,
I yeah,
Versace, like Alexander McQueen, freaking huge. It's huge. So
yeah,
that had to
it's
be a crazy world as well.
um definitely, yeah. I mean, I'm glad I kind of did it when I was younger and kind
Yeah.
of got it out of the way, but yeah, it's gosh, I don't even know where to start. I'm glad I had that experience. And I'm glad it kind of got me to where I am today.
Mhm.
Um, but it's just I guess it kind of had to happen because your whole focus is just kind of your exterior presentation. Like that's your sole worth is your appearance and how you come across and I'm glad I went through that journey to kind of get to a point where I'm like, you know what? Um, it that beauty fades, you know? It's I think what is internally is what counts.
Yep.
So I kind of did a complete, pendulum shift to the other side and I after I kind of decided to part ways with that. I went back to school and just just filled my time with everything and everything I could: communication, psychology, philosophy,
Mm,
like
mm,
law. It's I just I think I did a really great job. Uh, Modeling, which was great, but getting to switch and put focus internally was really even more satiating.
mm. No shit.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so having done like both worlds, what do you think is more surreal then? Like, is it the life of a model or the life of a movie star? Like,
I think I think definitely film.
yeah,
100%. I don't think modeling is as glamorous as, people like to believe.
right,
Um, with modeling, you're very much on call for everyone else. You really don't have much of a say. And what I've really been, enjoying about kind of the film TV space, it's genuinely collaborative. I think it's also, there's a union just to make sure that you're taken care of, which again, with modeling, you don't.
right.
Uh, you could be working like, 12, 16 hours and there's really kind of, you have no rights
Mm,
uh,
mm,
in that. And yeah, with I think the whole Hollywood industry, I mean, you're getting to create a story and be part of this just other world, and it's really magical,
mm.
honestly.
And like, what a trip it must be to see yourself. Like, can you remember the first time seeing yourself on screen and like, sh-
I actually I hate watching myself. I
I bet.
really
Sure.
it's I don't know if we've evolved to the point where it's just I don't think we're wired to sit back and watch ourselves. Like
No, no,
it's
same
just
like same for me. Like when I make my podcasts and stuff, because I have three guests every week, right? Like you're going to be one of three guests in the podcast when I put it out.
okay.
But I put it together, but I never push play and listen to the whole hour and a half. You know what I mean? I just don't do that.
I'm really glad. Well, I've watched your podcast. I think you look great, if that's any assurance,
Oh, thank
and
you.
that's I guess, other people there I guess it's just a being a fly on the wall. They're not as attached
Yeah,
to the situation. So, we have our own whatever insecurities or perceptions of who we are. And I think we spiral out just observing, how could we have done this better?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
You don't
yeah,
like it, but you do watch it though. Please tell me you watch your stuff.
I do. I do. I
Yeah,
actually, I was nervous going into the premiere of Knox Goes Away.
yeah.
Uh, but you know what? I sat through the whole movie, and at the end of it, I'm like, I did pretty good. Okay, so it was definitely assuring. That was it was a really nice moment.
That's cool.
Uh,
And who'd you go with?
I went with my fiance.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he loved it. I
Oh, he's
think
got to be super proud. Oh my God. You're freaking with Al Pacino and Michael Keaton. It's nuts. Like two huge, huge, huge names.
he's actually Samoan, and he's first generation, but his mom, who I love, like she's been obsessed with Al Pacino. I mean, she grew up with him, like
Who isn't there?
watching him,
Yeah,
and
sure.
I think she's honestly my biggest fan. I mean, she
That's
just screamed when she found out, and then she's just looking for like any update. Uh, so it's really nice. It's really sweet. But yeah, I think he's got a crush on Michael Keaton now.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, after seeing him at the premiere, and I did give him warning. I'm like, he's incredible. He's phenomenal. He's clever. He's witty.
Yeah.
Self-deprecating, but in a really classy way.
And
And he
like think
yeah
about what he's doing, right? Like you said, there's 100 people on set.
yeah
He's directing, he's making sure everybody feels, comfortable and good in their job, in their role. And then he's still got to go on screen and kill it.
Yeah,
Like,
and he does it seamlessly. Like, I don't think that's normal, I don't think that's normal for people to be able to juggle. I think, I don't know if you're, single focused or you can handle multitasking. I feel
oh,
like
multitask. Oh yeah.
yeah, I feel like
Full
I
on.
can multitask to a degree, but, on this
At that
level,
level's insane.
it's a lot, and I feel like it would crush, like, just a normal human. So maybe he is bad.
Maybe he is. What are you binge watching lately? Like, what are the shows you're like, oh man, so good?
Just finished 3 Body Problems.
Okay.
Um, did you watch it
No, I heard
or
it's
not
good
yet?
though. I haven't
Yeah,
watched it yet.
it's great. It's great.
I'm into the Fallout right
The
now.
what
The
the
Fallout,
Fallout. I just had a friend of mine talk about it yesterday.
so
Okay,
good.
how are you liking it?
It's good. I'm only two in, but
Okay.
it's so good.
I've heard great reviews about that.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I
right
also
now.
played the hell out of the video game. So
Oh.
kind of know it's weird, right? It's weird to watch because like, oh man, that's the video game.
Okay, what's the video game that HBO just released this past year with the fungus? Um,
Uh, I
Pedro
don't
Pascal.
I don't know.
Hold on. You don't know?
I don't know.
Hold on. I'm Googling it right now because this was a great video game, so I wanted to hear
Hmm.
uh what you thought. Here we go. The Last of Us.
I haven't seen that either, and apparently it's like
Hey, guys.
so good. Like there's just no time. There's no time. Like I work full time. I do a podcast. I have a wife. I got two kids. Like, and then to try to sneak in some time to like
How
I'm
old
going
are
to
your
bed at like 2, 3 in the morning if I'm able to, you know what I mean?
I understand. I really do.
Yeah.
For me, it's my decompression.
Yeah.
No matter how busy the day gets, like I still have to. I go to bed. I put on the show.
Yeah.
That's how I ease it in. Um, so, but yeah,
What's
no,
on
yeah.
your radar to watch next then? Like
I'm currently
everybody's
watching.
pushing you to watch something, I'm sure, right?
I'm always watching something. I just love creatives. I love creatives. I'm
Yeah.
currently finishing up Gentleman on Netflix, and then I think the next step I'm gonna do is Ripley.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that
yeah.
either. Again,
Uh,
too many things. Too many things to watch.
I'll
Because of
fill
course,
you
like,
out.
you got to also for me personally, like, and I have to also not only like, binge watch shows, but I'm a huge fan of hockey, so I got to watch the Vancouver Canucks when they play.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
Are
Are you
you into sports? Do you watch sports at all?
well, football, the
Yeah.
proper saying, football.
Who's your
Man
team?
City, Man City,
Okay.
who just got eliminated, unfortunately, but
Yep.
it's a great season.
Yep.
Uh, If they had to lose to anyone, it would be Real Madrid. I'll give my hats off to that. So
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Did you watch
yeah,
that? What was that? Oh, it's just called Beckham.
yeah, the
Did you watch?
documentary. Of
Yeah, so good, right? Like,
course, I'm a voracious watcher of
and 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 I agree with you. Like, I love the creatives, right? Like for me, as a producer, as a host, and everything else, an interviewer or whatever you want to call it, like I love watching what other people do and how they put together the shows using B footage and you know what I mean,
mhm.
narration over top of, and like how they transition between scenes and how they refer back to past things that they've said before, and like it's so captivating when you
Yeah,
know kind of like the inside machine. Like that was really cool how they did that. That was awesome how they got to that. That's I can't get away from that sometimes.
yeah, and
Like, are
it's
you
the
the same way?
development, and I think it's the life lesson of like as unfortunate as an event was, like that had to happen in order for this bigger thing to come, and it's just
Yeah,
I think it's really powerful.
yeah. How about the music in your world? Like, what was the music in your life as a kid growing up?
Again, immigrant.
Yeah.
My parents were very standoffish about
Oh,
American pop culture, so the only music allowed growing up was classical music. Um, the only the only music. So, there was a point I feel like as I've gotten older, I've kind of lost that ability, but I would be able to identify who the composer was just like within a minute.
no,
Uh, it
really?
was yeah, it was it's just you're brainwashed. It's ingrained into you at that
Oh,
point.
yeah. That's like me and ABBA. Like I could sing every ABBA song, but I don't listen to ABBA anymore. But my
Really?
mom
Okay,
played it so much.
I'm glad you brought that up because yeah, my dad's pretty young. Um, he's pretty young. He was born what, 71? Um,
Okay. Wow.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
born in 73.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
That's
He's
crazy.
yeah, he's young. He was a young
Uh-huh.
dad.
He's young, yeah.
Um, but, um, so he actually, um, he loved kind of music that made him feel nostalgic, and it was ABBA, it was Michael Jackson, it was Queen.
Sure.
Um, there were a lot of other kind of, European, groups. I don't know if you know Modern Talking.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
a
yeah,
music spaz, believe me. Like
okay.
if there's something like I'm not that good with movies and TV shows and stuff, but
Yeah.
music, it's been the driving force in my life since before I can remember. That's
Okay,
why
I mean, yeah.
I got into radio. I don't know if you if it, like when I get these interviews, I don't know if people know about my past or if they just know, oh, it's some dude that's doing an interview. But I
Well, I
did
know
radio
I
in
know
Canada
some
for
the
20
majority
years.
of your guests were musicians, so I thought that was really interesting, but yeah,
Yeah, but it's
you
not. The majority is not musicians. It looks like it, but it's equal. It's music, sports, and entertainment each week.
okay, so what about music? Like, what it's just your passion, it
It's just
fulfills
my
you.
passion. I play drums. I love going to shows. Like I would be that person that would literally want to die if music wasn't around.
Fascinating. Fascinating. I mean, we
Like,
needed
could you
it.
imagine a world without music and how shitty that would be?
I mean, that could be a new film. We can produce that. That's interesting.
Hmm.
You heard
Hmm.
it here first. Uh, yeah,
what was your first concert?
that is a great question. Um,
Dusting off the cobwebs for this one.
see, I don't think I wasn't allowed to go to concerts, so I think my first real concert was I don't know if you consider it a concert, but it was, Rodrigo y Prieto. I don't know if that's how you pronounce their name, but they're guitarists, um, and so they have very kind of, I mean, their music is incredible, but definitely has, kind of flamenco elements into it. Uh, but then I think Mike Snow, um, yeah, that was kind of my first concert. They were performing at the Shrine downtown, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't think I've been to any concert growing up.
Really?
Yeah, what kind of life is that? What was your first concert?
Dr. Hook.
Wow.
On
Okay.
on the cover of the Rolling Stone.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
8 years old, little kid. I remember it well. So
wow.
good.
Um, my fiance's actually he's a fairly reputable hairstylist, but he recently got the chance to work with Bono for yeah his Vegas tour. So he had the chance to meet him, and yeah, just
What?
put a yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and work with one of the most known people on the planet. That'd be
I think
weird though. Hey, like, I mean, I think that, and don't please don't take this the wrong way, but I think you're at that level of fame, where you're in really impressive things, but you could probably walk down the street and people wouldn't bother you. Bono
No,
can't Bono can't he can't just like, I'm just gonna go grab a, whatever somewhere. He would
yeah,
just
no.
get mauled.
And that's kind of what I'm fearful about. Like, I don't know if I do wanna get to that point
Like,
because
I think it would be
it's
so annoying,
yeah,
right?
you
Like
have
you're
no
out with your buddy or your fiance or your mom or whatever, and just having a relaxing lunch. Hey, can I
yeah,
get you to sign this? Can I take a quick selfie? Like,
you
chill.
know, yeah, which
Fame would be
again
crazy.
yeah, and I have thought about it and like that's look, it's pretty cool. It's I think it's sweet that, people look up to you so much, but I really do think you're sacrificing a degree of your sanity
Yeah,
to be in that spotlight because it's at this point you're for the people. You don't really have time to yourself unless you're at home, you
right,
know. That's definitely kind of an existential question I've been wondering for myself.
right,
So,
right. Like Al
yeah,
Pacino, he can't just fucking go grab something at the grocery store. I mean, he could, but he's probably wearing a hat. He's probably wearing sunglasses. He's probably trying to like,
kind of makes it even more suspicious. Like any other person, like, who, why are they hiding? Who is that? And it
yeah,
just, you're caught red-handed ultimately.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Sasha, I'm going to wrap this up with one last question for you. It's a super oddball. It's not really a question. I want
Okay.
you to share a near-death story with us where you're like, "Holy shit, I could have died there."
Oh, well, this is yeah, no, I have several of those.
Most people do.
Yeah. Um, I think I mean, it's kind of comical. I think I want to say 11, but it was summer vacation. I went to down to Florida with one of my best friends and her family, and I'm very vitamin D deficient. I'm very
Let's say.
yeah, so, and, her family's from Odessa, like, which in Ukraine, like, it's basically like the Florida of the United States. It's you have sun or Miami, kind of that vibe. Just different skin complexions and, uh, on top of wearing sunblock, we were going out to this it's a spring where depending on the season, manatees come
Those
to
huge.
mate or yeah.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the place. It's beautiful, crystal clear water, you know. But yeah, her family thought it was best to put me in like a um large t-shirt to kind of protect my body, from the sun. And, the thing with this is, like, there's really no staircase to jump off of in the spring, and it's very deep. There's no kind of gradual, level down,
Sure.
um, and there was definitely a current, and I just with this gigantic t-shirt, and I'm 11, like, I'm tiny, like, weighing me down, like, I was drowning. I was drowning. I couldn't swim.
Oh,
There wasn't anyone around me. Like, I really like the panic of that, was terrifying. So I think that was definitely I think they threw me like a life vest,
I was
like,
just, yeah,
eventually.
like, how'd you get out? Like, can't swim. What the fuck are you doing near
No, no, no,
water
no,
if you
I
can't
couldn't swim,
swim?
I couldn't move, like, I was, just being pulled, like, all the way down, so,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah, that was exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, believe me, everybody's got a story. Like, ask anybody if you're in a group setting, ask that question, and like 9 out of 10 people will have the story.
I do have a friend who actually died, though. She's she's, like, an incredible makeup artist, like, celebrity, she's done everybody, but she actually died. They pronounced her dead, she was dead, I think, for, like, 5 minutes, um and, that she was I think she was traveling in Vietnam, I don't know, her leg got caught in something, she lost a lot of blood, and, yeah, they pronounced her dead, her heart had stopped, and I'm like, "What was that like?" And
Oh, that's crazy.
you know, "I heard them." You know, yeah, it was all dark, it was all black, but, like, you know, I heard them pronounce me, I was dead, like, I was hearing them discussing everything, and I was just
What?
yeah, that's trippy.
Holy
That's trippy.
shit, that's trippy.
Yeah, so, you know, there's a story for you for the other side.
Yeah. Wow. It's like leaving with blowing my mind as we're wrapping this up here. Where are you most active online? Like, where do you want people to go and say hi?
I'm pretty low key. I mean, I stalk everyone on every social media avenue, but I'm personally just on Instagram for now.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, Instagram and yeah, in person.
Nice. Nice. I wish I could get to that point where I could just not do social media. Not a fan. But
Yeah,
it's a
I'm trying.
must for what I do. Of course, I have to do it.
You must.
I must.
You're giving to the world. We're watching you. We're waiting for more.
Exactly. More,
Doing
more content, Todd. More, more.
never enough.
Sasha, thank you so much for doing this. Great to meet you. Congrats on the movie. Amazing,
Appreciate.
amazing stuff. And I guess we'll see you online. Have a great day.
Have a wonderful night. Thank you.